Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman, the podcast that deals with the early life of J.R. Hendrick. And now, narrating, head of the family, J.R. and Jimmy. Okay, folks, here we go. This is not the narrated family format we usually do. Sometimes, unfortunately, because I like the narrated format, we got to mention Max. Now, this summer, don't you know, we're doing all narrated. I don't care. Alright, so, December 3rd. Okay. 12 p.m. Cheeseburgers are for lunch as JR sits down with Brent, CB, and Connie. Nice to see you back and up, Brent said. When I saw you Friday and at the Carol of Lights, you didn't say much. In fact, you look a little lost. Don't do this to him, Brent. He just lost his grandmother, Connie said. Rule number 2, Brent. Part of the Spirit Club. We are supposed to encourage one another in Christ. Before the semester's over, I'm taking JR aside and making him an honorary member, placing him in the Order of the Dove. The Order of the Dove was where you go and receive under the ministerial leadership at the Holy Spirit Club a blue cap with a white dove under a gold stand. It was a witness that you're always going to bear witness of the hope that's within you, with a Bible verse attesting to such as you as such on your cap. 1:30 p.m. Eastern in Tallahassee. Jim is attending a luncheon, whereas all weekend he had been at the Florida Enterprise Center convention in downtown Tallahassee. There we go. Put this thing down on Do Not Disturb. Alright. 3 p.m. Central. JR is in his room when he gets a call. It's from his father. Daddy, what can I do for you? JR said. I hear you've been struggling. I hear you've been sloughing off with your classes and schoolwork. Now it's nonsense, Dad, JR said. Yeah, it better be, Jim said, drinking bourbon and smoking a cigar. You better listen to me. Conrad's coming in every morning at 6. He's gonna make sure you get dressed, cleaned up, and have breakfast and arch your classes. You dig? Yes, sir. You got it. I swear it. 4:55 p.m. American Airlines Flight 1319 departs from Tallahassee, Florida, bound for Reagan International Airport. Jim and his cousin, Margaret, sit together in business class. Woo! 1 a.m. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Betsy wakes up and goes downstairs. She's trying to hide herself, crying from her family. 4 a.m. Eastern. Jim wakes up in his downstairs front lounge with Clara Luss, who flew in the night before. Today he was getting ready for his dream team and a rally tomorrow in Baltimore. Tomorrow in New York, rather. Wednesday, Jim will be giving a morning speech at Benjamin Franklin Academy in New York City before flying back for a financial meeting, which would take place at 1 p.m. Thursday, Jim would have a consulting meeting along with testifying before the Senate. And Friday, he would have a testimony before the House and a press conference. And on Saturday, he would hold a morning rally at Bemidji State University in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Okay, 7 a.m. JR and Kevin McDonald have breakfast at Crockett House. 8 a.m. In public policy class, Dr. Elliott announced that the final would be non-comprehensive. Today was to be the last day for her final exam review, and the final would be done by Friday, 10:30 a.m., Friday, December 8th. 12 p.m. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Donna, a lady recently hired to look after Christine, finds her in the living room. "Shouldn't you be at school?" Donna said. "No, I called Mike Fields. He's agreed to take me to Lubbock to get a second opinion after the holidays." "Now, Christine, shouldn't you let her know? I don't want to upset her. We just lost my grandma, and I don't want her to bother with this. She has vast trouble at the ranch. My daddy's away. My oldest brother is up off in college being a dork. My other big brother refuses to get off his butt, so I have to do morning chores for the ranch, for the both of us. So no, I can't afford to have cancer. I'll stay out of your business, but if you start exhibiting symptoms, I have to tell your mom." 1 p.m. JR is back at his dorm listening to the Andrew House show when his Uncle Carl walks in. "Dr. Pierce is very surprised you dropped out of the business board. You were so enthusiastic," Carl said. "Life goes on without me," Jared said. I can't let you do this to yourself. Story of my life, JR said, crying again. JR, going to the sailor pool, one of the pools to swim there. We'll talk when I get better. 4 p.m., Jim is greeting his dream team at the entrance of the house at 14 Heritage Gate. 8 p.m. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Madison is annoyed that Kyle has gone off to the bar again. Okay. December 5th, 9:30 a.m. Central. Elizabeth Marie is in her comparative politics class when her professor drops this reminder. Some of you seniors, no doubt, I know, have been working on some series of papers on adversity. Elizabeth Marie, for example, has had a death in the family. But bear this in mind. On January 8th, before classes begin, each of you need to drop your thumbnail of your academic portfolio before your advisor. 9:45 a.m. Central. JR is in political contention class when Friedrich McKay hands everyone else out their final reviews. Mr. Hendricks is exempt from his file, but I do have some work for him. JR, you are right to write a 5-paragraph abstract about your advocacy contention paper. Is to be and handed to me no later than 5 p.m. today. 11 a.m. Central. Christine walks into the Swingfield den to find Kyle kicking back on the couch with a can of beer. Don't. Shouldn't you be at school? Kyle said. Christine shines a flashlight in his eyes. Don't. Who has to wake up before 5 in the morning to milk the cows, to feed the chickens, to feed the horses? You give it a little more than 2 weeks after Grandma dies, and the whole place is falling apart. Don't you lecture me, you heifer. Christine pulls out a 3-edged knife blade. When are you going to wake up and realize that Mama needs help around here? This ranch needs help around here. To hell with this damn ranch, Kyle said, throwing his half-empty can of beer against the wall. You are disgraceful. The one time that Daddy gives you a chance to prove yourself, and you just sit there on your fat ass, acting like an idiot. Get me another beer. Your old tricks don't work anymore. Why don't you go to hell, Kyle? Woof. 1 p.m. Meanwhile, since Betsy is in denial and out working with the ranch hands on gathering and vaccinating the elk, Gail has Fernando, the ranch gardener, lay some fresh flowers at his grandmother's grave. Thomas had stepped down from his oilfield job to take care of the ranch for Betsy and the rest of the family. Christine walks towards Elizabeth Marie, who has a sad look on her face. Lisa Marie, cousin, why is a long face? Frank refused to go out on a date with you? No. He's one of my professors. He's also my academic advisor. I have an undergraduate thesis next semester. About pro-life issues. And I got to write this abstract. And I don't know what the hell to do, Elizabeth Marie said. You should try Spotney. My friend Lizzie is in her senior year at prep school. And she's been talking all about it at the library. My academic advisor would never go for that. Oh, yeah? You're a Hendrick. I'm a Hendrick. My daddy contributed to the business school there. So you can let me drive over there with you. You stay in the car. I do all the talking. 1:45 p.m. Benson Hall, Lecture Hall 3. Christine walks in. Dr. Danny Larson finished his political theory lecture. And that's it for the semester. Your final exams will be at 10:30 in this room on Tuesday, December 12th, Dr. Larson said. Young lady, what are you doing here? Christine bells up. I might be some high school chick. But I'm not someone you can just order around. The subject is my cousin Elizabeth Marie, who has to write an abstract and turn it in before her final exam with you. This is serious senior college level work. Elizabeth Marie knew what she was signing into when she agreed to do the thesis. Christine shines a flashlight into the professor's eyes as he giggles. Well, hey, I didn't think you know that my cousin is related to my daddy. And I happen to know that 15 months ago, you were criticizing him on the radio because he was working with the Clintons at University College, and giving enough funding when Daddy gave you millions of dollars. Do you get my drift? Man, that's some ugly packing for a beautiful girl like you. I was raised with two older brothers. I learned how to take the guys on when I have to. Later on next spring, Christine would need my help behind the scenes to deal with this professor. And I used my usual charming methodology to get him to back off of our cousin. True Hendrix style. Okay. 3 p.m. Central. Brent and Jesse are sitting for the finals in his dorm room. When they make a decision for Brent to call Kristen and set up an appointment at 6:30 Wednesday night for a matchmaking between Kristen and JR. Woo! 5:20 p.m. Eastern. Jim, his dream team, and Clara Luss fly by private jet for New York City for Jim to speak at a Republican rally on behalf of Phil Gramm. 5:30 p.m. Central. During the last of the political analysis class, Dr. Kinghorn announced that the final will be comprehensive from after the midterm and begin talking about shareholder evaluation, saying that there would be some serious emphasis on this topic in the exam. 7 p.m. Dinner at the ranch with Betsy's homemade enchiladas was conspicuously absent with Kyle, Madison, and his kids, of course. Kyle had gone to the neighborhood bar again. Madison had taken the kids to spend the night with her mother in Midland. The only ones present were Elizabeth Marie, Christine, Thomas, Rachel, Betsy, and Cousin Bobby. Christine, what's the matter? Betsy said. JR, Thomas and I have not been able to get a hold of him this week at all. Christine said. Be patient. JR, he is dealing with serious problems right now. Now I can call his Aunt Donna to have her and Uncle Carl keep an eye on him. But that's the best way I can handle this. Mama, Bristol Monarch needs someone to keep an eye out on it every once in a while. Now I've contacted Mike Fields. He is going to step in as president, at least on a temporary basis. 8 p.m. JR is resting in his 9 p.m. JR is resting in his room when Connie walks in. JR, honey, please. Tell me what's going on. Now, you haven't been to the club for the past 2 weeks. If it's Brent, don't worry about it. I can deal with Brent. Tell the boys I will see them next year, Jared said. Connie, sweetheart, let him be. He's been going to his classes, doing his schoolwork, giving them a couple of days. Maybe he'll be back to normal, Gavin said. Okay. Now we gotta go to Crux the Matter. This is gonna be fun. Alright. Yeah, this is it. December 6th, 6 a.m. Carmen walks into Gordon Hall 104. Pops back the door to JR's room. Walks in. And in a commanding voice, tells him to get dressed. Aunt Della walks in behind him. JR, your Uncle Carl requests your presence for dinner tonight. Lasagna. Dinner is at 6:30. Just the way we used to. I guess so. I don't know, Aunt Donna. Losing your grandma is hard, I know. But JR, for the sake of your mother, for the sake of those around you, I'm asking you to pull yourself together. JR reluctantly gets dressed and goes and has breakfast at the Crockett House dining hall. "12 p.m. Eastern. Landing in Washington, D.C., a limo and a Cadillac take Jim directly to the Small Business Administration for the 1 p.m. financial meeting discussing a potential upcoming government shutdown. 1 p.m. Central. JR returns back from Cheesecake Toastmasters, having received a few books and trinkets, but still not very happy because he had to go shopping tonight in order to get a golf accessory for Friedrich McKay. Damn Brent. How in the hell am I going to be able to go get some golf accessory for some damn professor? JR demanded, stomping and moping. "Hey, relax, man," Carmen said. "Your dad says I have to take you anywhere you need to go. Besides, you really need to spend more time off campus." 3 p.m. JR goes half-heartedly with Carmen to the golf store, and Carmen tries to play contemporary Christian for JR. 5 p.m. 5:30 p.m. Carl talks to Bessie on the way to Gordon Hall. He walks into 104 Gordon Hall and knocks hardly on JR's door. "Get up, JR, Carl said. "Just let me be. Let me be." Carl charges into the bedroom. Can't do that! He picks Jared up out of bed and leads him to the dresser. Now take a look at yourself. I get it. We all miss your Grandma Elizabeth. But one thing that I do know is she wants you tough, up and going. And one more person is making a speech this weekend in Louisiana. And he's thinking about you now. Carl thrust a full-color picture on the cover of a magazine of Jared's father making a stump speech at a Republican rally in New York City. This is your daddy. Are you going to give up on him? Now get yourself together and get in the car. And Donna is taking you to dinner. Jared gets in the car with Aunt Donna, since Uncle Carl is taking his truck. Aunt Donna, who talks to him about how much the family misses him, and that he has a chance to come back from the pain of his loss. 6:30 p.m. Central. Prince shows up at Kristen's dorm room at Knapp Hall. Come and sit down. My idiot roommate, Palsy, is bringing some drinks. We need to talk. I want JR. I want him so bad. At the same time, the Hendrick family in Lubbock is dining at lasagna. Forgive me, JR, but Daddy was doing what he did because he cares about you, Max said. Your mom called me this morning, and your dad emailed me, told me that you might be in some kind of trouble. I came and I found you all depressed, like it was almost over. But then I saw these impressive cobra tail 9-irons. Wait. Your mom called me this morning, and your dad emailed me. He told me you might be in some kind of trouble. I came and I found you all depressed, like it was almost over. But then I saw these impressive cobra tail 9-irons, Carl said. JR, how are you holding up at school, honey? Carl Mary said. Strangely enough, good on my classes with this semester. And well, I got final exams beginning Friday morning, Gerald said. I remember you were like this when your grandpa Swain died. You were first, and you got sick a lot in the next couple of years, Grandma Mary said. Mama, don't make him look like he's fragile. His father's up in Washington, D.C., testifying before a Senate committee meeting tomorrow morning. JR can't let him down. Well, I'm not sure how much help I am for him either. But I'm willing to give it a shot. Jessica was crushed when Grandpa Hendrick died. But she went on. And now look at her. She's graduated from Angela State. She's with Darren up in Fort Worth. Seems to be doing her well, Aunt Donna said. 7 a.m. Eastern. JR's father is testifying before the U.S. Senate Small Business Committee, grilled by both Democrats and government Republicans alike. Jim answers the questions hard and fast, mentioning that he felt that Clinton was there doing very little to fix the economy, and that America right now is in a state of a bear market. President Clinton will receive a copy of that testimony and remarks on printing and audio, and he would be screaming to find out that Jim was saying that about the economy. 7 a.m. Central. Stoney is surprised to see a happy kiddo walk into the Spirit Club and get his egg, bacon, and cheese breakfast burrito. JR sits down with him and his girlfriend Heather. We knew you'd come back soon. Welcome back to the club, JR, Tony said. I guess tomorrow afternoon's my swearing-in ceremony. Order of the Dove. You'll do just fine, Heather said. Stoney was sworn in September, and it was very beautiful. 9 a.m. Eastern. Jim and his dream team are consulting with John Sistina. He recommended that Grace Arthur take care of some polling for the day, assisted by Avery Covington. 11 a.m. Central. The Tech Public Affairs Society Christmas party is underway as everyone eats Christmas cookies and drinks punch. But now the presents are underway, and JR's present for Friedrich McKay is drawn first. JR waits with bated breath as Friedrich McKay opens his presents. How open-handed and magnificent and magnanimous. The bullfine researcher said, "Got to hand it to you, JR. You sure do know how to pick golf accessories." 1 p.m. Back at his dorm, JR gets a call from Mike Fields saying that his mother, Betsy, will be bringing the whole family to have dinner with JR tomorrow night. Mike asks JR how he is holding up. JR says although he is still grief-stricken, he realized he has to live out his grandmother's legacy by getting closer to his father. 3 p.m. Central. Christine comes home early from school to find out that Kyle was still not doing anything. That he should be. But that Betsy was out working hard, vaccinating and gathering more of the goats indoors. In disgust, she goes into the house, doesn't even bother talking to Kyle. She goes upstairs to her room to work on her schoolwork. Okay. 7 p.m. Jim and his dream team have a photo op with the press at the base of the stairs. Okay. December 8th. 8 a.m. Eastern. In Washington, Jim is testifying before the House Small Business Committee, which is giving him a more favorable treatment. Still, his remarks about a bear market economy must have really chafed the Clinton administration, mainly President Clinton and the staffers in the White House. Congressman Bill Hume, the Libertarian from Virginia, was one of the ones that grilled Jim the hardest. 8 a.m. Central. JR walks into the half-empty classroom to hand him his final exam. Early? Unusual. Oh well, you have performed well this semester. I have to say, I have to give you good remarks and good marks to you for next semester. When you face your opposite contingent defense, you'll go far, Mr. Hendrick. Me? I'm back to teaching first-year grad students next semester. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, with the headmaster of Midway Prep calling for in-service days for Friday and Saturday, Christine is swimming at the pool when Dave Morgenthau comes in. So nice for you to drop in, Christine says. Well, your brother said your mother is out birthing hogs, so I thought I'd come take a peek. Peaks aren't for impatient idiots anyway. I'm glad you dropped by. Things for the past several weeks have been crazy. With Grandma's death, my dorky brother JR off the rails, my brother Kyle won't work the ranch. But our relationship makes all the difference in the world. Christine, it's good to have a smile upon your face. When you started this semester, I really worried about you. But now, I think maybe you and me, we have a chance. We can make it. 8:30 a.m. JR has Carmen dropping off to make a call on Kristen Haig at Knapp Hall. JR, what a pleasant surprise. Kristen giggles. Well, Stoney and Heather, who happen to know some friends of yours, said that you don't have a file to do today. So I thought I'd just drop by to talk. Jared said, well, you look happy. What's happened? Well, first, I want to apologize for being an idiot. I was so grief-stricken. My grandma's passing. I didn't realize what a wonderful friendship we have. And there I see it. My old friend, Brent. Hello, old friend, Brent said. I'm truly sorry I had to step down from the business board. Brent sat up in his chair. We appointed Stoney Rosen to fill your position. I realize now that that position was merely two for people. And they have time on their hands. But I have an advocacy contention paper to write in a defense to maintain next semester a position on the business board, which is a stepping stone. You know, even though you can be annoying, sometimes you can be a friend with benefits. A positive way to make my loss your gain. Don't go on pretending that this helps me. Oh, but it will, Brent. Time will come when my connections get you anything you want. 12 p.m. Central. Jim and his dream team arrive in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and are driven to McNeese State University to meet with consultant Carl Rowe. 1 p.m. Central. JR goes into the southern bowels of Smith Hall. We're in the northern bowels were for labs and related classrooms. This one was the abode for the new Center for Public Affairs in the office of a Dr. Bruce Kinghorn. I want that housing fact sheet done by the end of business, Reva, Dr. Kinghorn said. Come in, JR, and have a seat. JR went into the office and sat down as Dr. Kinghorn shut his door. You could hear a pin drop. Oh, come on, JR. Relax. You know me. I'm not as severe as Dr. Pilsner. That's why I had him moved to Dean of Student Services last year. He's too austere, severe, and hellish to believe that to not believe that there's more than one way to learn public affairs. I thought I was in trouble. Nonsense. Tomorrow your final exam, Saturday your final exam. Tomorrow your final exam is being moved from the pass office at West Hall to right here in my office. My graduate assistant, Toby McInerney, will be administering it, and he will help you set up the tables and charts for the few advanced formulas that will be on the final exam. Now where? There's something else. Gerald said, getting quiet. Oh, would you please relax? They may call me Dr. Policy around here, but there are some students I take special interest in their career development. You are one of those. Now, I know you are applying for law school. Even when you get accepted for law school, I'm interested in your career development, Kinghorn said. I am now your advocacy contention chief advisor. He opens his computer and looks at a chart of thesis committee selections. Listen, I heard about your grandmother's death, and my heart aches for you. Give me a favor. Relax and enjoy the holidays. 2 p.m. Betsy leads a motorcade of cars to drive from the ranch to Lubbock, Texas, to do some shopping, and then meet JR for dinner at 6 p.m. 4 p.m. Jim and his dream team are back at Mary Jane, the Hendrick Mansion in Baton Rouge. And he has them in working with polling, with Dave Rosenberg being the person in charge of doing polling. 6 p.m. At the Rustic Cafe in Lubbock, the family is having dinner. The main one being quiet is Kyle. How is the pregnancy going, Madison? Betsy said. Fantastic. I went to see Dr. Harrison this morning, and he told me to just relax and let things happen naturally, regardless of what happened early on in the pregnancy, Madison said. Elizabeth Marie, have you started your senior thesis? Betsy said. Well, I'm still trying to get my sources together. These things take time, Elizabeth Marie said. Christine, try to relax, honey. I'm making arrangements for you and the day of your choice to go to the senior cotillion, Betsy said. Thank you, Mama, Christine said. I feel like we're a family again. I'm thinking about ordering us a dessert to split among us, all of us. JR? JR has an awkward smile as he's sitting at the head of the table. Yes, Mama. I placed you at the head of the table, just like your daddy. Because your daddy, he would be so proud of you. Thank you, Mama. We hope you enjoyed listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the adventure. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. It gets a lot more interesting from here.